Hey, good day. Mike Mata here. We're going to talk about voice over IP troubleshooting. Just got a couple of traces from a customer of mine, asked me to help him out, having some issues with voice audio problems, and sent me two traces. I asked him, is it possible to get a trace from both phones, both sides of the conversation? And he sent them to me, and AT&T being the provider in the middle. So let's go through these real quick. Basically here we look at our first call, and I'm going to use both tools, Observer and Wireshark, and my go-to is always Observer because it's really fast. We see the call being here, 0 packets lost. I can quickly look at the RTP stream using the expert system inside of Observer. It tells me the QoS for this half of the audio stream is using 46 DSCP value of expedited forwarding. I look at the other half of the call and I see 46. So the call from this phone going to the direction of the other phone, we see we have QoS both directions. When I look at the other trace where I have the packets from the other half of that call, you notice I have 11 packets lost. Status is red. Got some call burst density here, expert analysis. But the big thing is we look at, again, our QoS. We're seeing this side where this phone is sending. You notice the little A there. So the audio in that direction, we have QoS. And the audio coming from the other side, which we know it left with QoS of 46, we're now seeing that we have a QoS value of 0. So AT&T, in their infinite wonderful glory, is stripping the QoS, and when it gets here, we're not seeing the QoS value. So the reason then why we're seeing packet loss. So even though it's entering the Gazinda, if you will, side of the network with QoS, it's coming out on the other side with no QoS. So I told my customer, I said, you probably just need to go talk to your AT&T folks and ask them, could you explain how that might work and why it's doing that? Again, looking at packets, very easy to see as well. If I use Observer, I can see on the one side type of service is 0 on the 5151 side, but on the 247.163 I have expedited forwarding, or 46, or B8 there in hex. Again, on the other, if I look at packets, you can see 5151 we have expedited forwarding, DSCP of 46. And on 163, expedited forwarding, DSCP of 156. So again, coming in, going out, both sides is leaving with QoS, but when it gets to the other phone through the AT&T network, it does not have QoS. Seeing the same thing in Wireshark. Basically what I did is I loaded that trace and I just added a DSCP column. It makes it kind of easy to see. So again, on the one trace, you can see that there's no DSCP, and on the other side, there is DSCP. So I also have that open a second copy. Here's the other trace where we saw both sides have DSCP, or expedited forwarding, turned on. So we see that QoS is being sent from 5151 and also 7163, but when we see the other half, we see that we don't have QoS. It's 0. So somehow AT&T is stripping that when it gets to the other side. So there you go. Hope that was helpful for you in how to troubleshoot voice over IP. And thank you to my customer for sending me those traces and allowing me to help him out. Make it a great day.